in partnership with CommSec.
Let's get to Market Watch. Tom Piotrowski, how are we shaping up today?
Pete, the futures are pointing to an improvement of 0.25% for the ASX 200 this morning. So the caveat, of course, is that there's a lot of companies reporting earnings ahead of the open, so that could make an impression on that number. But in the US picture that has just recently finished, we've seen markets continue to lose a little bit of ground. I suppose in broad terms, you could call it consolidation, with investors keeping their powder dry ahead of that key summit that's being convened by the Kansas City Fed in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's that big Fed gathering every year. So the markets are cautious ahead of that. We did see a decline in long and short-term interest rates, which is in contrast to what's been happening in the last couple of days. That was at the margins helpful. The moves overall were pretty slight. For the Dow, it was up by 0.1%. The S&P 500 was down 0.1%. The Nasdaq reflected the weakness that we've seen in technology stocks in the last couple of days, so down by around 0.6%. The Mag 7 stocks were all lower. One of the highlights of the day, Pete, was the minutes from the last FOMC policy setting meeting. So the US Fed has been talking a lot about inflation, being vigilant in that regard. And there was an expectation that that may have softened, given the fact that the jobs numbers most recently saw big downward revisions, but they remained focused on that inflation piece, and that was a little bit jarring for the markets last night. So elsewhere, we saw a bit of a rebound for oil prices. So energy stocks did pretty well last night. That might be reflected in the local picture. And the Aussie dollar is trading at 64.4 US cents.
All right, Tom Piotrowski, thank you.